Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back for another Full Joy Mom video. Thanks so much for stopping by. I appreciate you all so very much. You guys have been blessing me in the comments. Thank you, thank you. Let's talk about dishes. That is what today's video is going to be all about. How I from a good place started getting my kids to help me regularly with the dishes. It has been the biggest blessing. It has taken such a load off of me. I don't think I even realized how big of a help it would be to have my kids doing the dishes, most of them for me. It's been amazing. So I'm going to share that with you. Stay tuned.
You're watching Full Joy Mom.
Well, if you are new here, hi, my name is Dawn Marie. I am so happy to be a homeschooling stay-at-home mom to my 4 kids. They are ages 10, 8, 7, and 6. So 4 kids in 5 years. It's been amazing. So kids doing dishes. I have never consistently had any of mine helping out with the chore of the dishes other than unloading the dishwasher in the morning. They've pretty consistently, I've rotated them through helping me with that, and they help with lots of other chores in the house. But there were a couple mental hurdles on my end of things that were inhibiting me from having them help with the dishes. Thing number 1 was that every time I would hear another mom talk about how they got their kids to help with the dishes or what that routine looked like. Now, I'm sure there's plenty of moms, like I know there are out there, that this isn't the case, but for some reason, every time it felt like I encountered it, that mom would be sharing about it like from a spot that for me in my heart, I just couldn't, I don't know. It was very much like, of course they're doing the dishes. They better be doing the dishes. I'm not doing the dishes. And I didn't know how to make that translate into my own life because I don't want to take on that posture of, that type of attitude with it. So I didn't have any formula for getting my kids for the mindset behind it. And then I am not a great dishwasher loader. My husband is very attention to detail. He's very orderly with things like that. So he would, like if he ever came along to the dishwasher I had loaded, he would just be like, oh my goodness, what is happening in here? And for the most part, my dishes get clean, but I was just aware that what's the proper way to load a dishwasher? I don't know what it is. So the other day I started thinking, why don't I have my husband teach the kids how to load the dishwasher, because I wasn't passing on the skill of loading the dishwasher to my kids because I didn't possess the skill I felt like in the first place. So that idea came to be. And then a few weeks later, I read 2 different moms. One was in a book, one was on social media. They're completely different moms, totally different personalities, coming from different ways of life. But they both shared about it in such a positive aspect that I was like, oh, I got it. I had one of those moments where it's like, finally, I get the mindset. I can do this. I understand it. And now I'll be able to pass it on to my kids and have, sort of like the why behind it. So the one mom was talking all about how having the kids help with dishes, that her children understood that was a way for them to be grateful, show respect and gratitude to their parents for everything they do. And they knew that complaining was showing that they were not grateful for the lives that they were living, for what they had, for the roof over their head, the food that they eat, all of those things. So that mom shared from such a positive perspective that was like, this is such a great help to me and I so appreciate it. And my kids, of course, sometimes they don't want to do it and you have to push through resistance, but teaching your kids that they're showing their parents that they're grateful for what they do and they're grateful for everything is a huge game changer. So she had shared about that, and that was so helpful. And then at the same time, I was reading a book. The mom in the book talked about how chore charts were just sort of beyond her. Like, she raised her kids, they're great successful kids, but she could not, like, that was something she was not going to keep that plate up and running of having a different system for chores and a chore chart or a chore whatever, right? Which personally, I have used those, especially when my kids are young. I've found success, but I've also gone through these seasons where I'm like, I cannot maintain this chore chart thing. Like, I just don't have the brain power for it. And I had attached failure to that on my end. It's remarkable how you have to just be on the lookout for those thoughts of, oh, you're failing, because they are around every single corner, right? So not using a chore chart effectively, or using it and, stopping a couple weeks later, or my inability to maintain them, all sort of got lumped into this category in my brain that was like, well, you're a failure, which I don't actually think that about myself anyways, but it just was the feeling that not having a functioning chore chart system would give me. So to read about this mom saying, like, I didn't do chore charts because my mind was already too full of too many other things, and I could not keep that going as well, was so freeing for me. And then she gave the concept that because our kids did chores, but there was no like formal structure for doing them. She said that her kids just understood that they would be required to help around the house, and with a lot of the same motives as this other mom was sharing. And my kids already have a little bit of that, because oftentimes I'll just be like, hey, you need to go do this, you need to go do that. And they are accustomed to helping me in that way. It just was another level of freedom. So I am passing that along to you. I pray that that brings you just as much freedom. Like, this mom had a structure in place where, I'll tell you about her dishes in a minute, but she would do like a 5 p.m. cleanup where everybody had to pick things up. Or I've heard another mom, and we've done this before, she talked about in the morning, each kid knew they needed to, as part of their morning routine, clean up 10 things that were out of place around the house, and that just helped keep things picked up. But so the way this mom did dishes that did not have a chore chart, which totally set me free. I'm like, okay, I know the why, and I don't need some perfect system. I can do this. I can get my kids to do the dishes from a good spot and a pure heart. So she said that they all just rotated through doing it, and they all knew that at some point, like, it was going to be their turn, and they would all help do it together and trade off on the different jobs. And I think that that is amazing. So the way that my family has been doing it for the last week or two, which has made me so grateful that I had to get on here and share it, is that breakfast and lunch, the kids are required to clean up after themselves. So whatever is at their space, they have to put it into the dishwasher. They before were just carrying it to the sink, and then I was the one that put it in the dishwasher. Now they put it in the dishwasher. Then at dinner, after dinner, 2 kids shower and 2 kids stay to help clean up. They clear all the plates that are left, put everything away, and put everything into the dishwasher. I have been doing, for now, since we're just getting this up and running, most of the like big pots and pans from cleaning, and I've sort of been right there with them to help. But it is amazing how fast it goes. Having someone else help you do dishes. I mean, all summer, the past couple years, it's been, I've been grateful because they'll go play outside, so I'm not parenting them in the evening and cleaning up after dishes, because typically my husband has to go do some form of work after dinner for a little while before we start a bedtime routine. And I'm grateful that he's here for dinner every night, because I personally have been through seasons where he's not even home for dinner. So this is amazing. It's okay. He has to go back, do more work after dinner, then he comes back and helps put the kids to bed. So in the winter, it's like me trying to parent, which feels a little crazy sometimes, and do dishes, or I wait until they go to bed and then I do all the dishes, which is equally tiring. There wasn't really, like, it was fine. I was figuring it out, but this is just so much better. In the summertime, they would go play outside, and that was mostly fine. Honestly, I would have to just be like, okay, I'm doing this to Jesus. This is my sacrifice, because, to be in the house for an hour by myself cleaning up after dinner while everyone's playing outside in the beautiful weather was kind of hard. But all that being said, I'm so grateful to be going into spring and summer with this new routine because it takes us 15 minutes or less to clean up from everything now. I kind of can't believe I haven't been doing this before, but at the same time, like, it's perfect. This is perfect timing for my family. I'm really grateful for it. So the kids that are showering, we only do one kid in a shower at a time. So that third child is staying to help clean up. And then the child that gets out of the shower, once they're done, if there's still more dishes to clean up, they come back and clean. And I don't know about you guys, but I have a couple that aren't like really funny. They're not like, yes, I want to shower. I'm so excited about this. So this is kind of cool because the kids that are showering are actually happy for their showers because it means they're not on dishes cleanup. So it's just been working out wonderful. I needed to pass that along. Maybe you needed that mindset help too. My kids latched onto that in a huge way. I don't know that I had taught them that concept before, that complaining is showing that they're not grateful for the lives they're living, and that when they help out, it's showing their parents that they're grateful. So passing that along, let me think if there's anything else in the routine. So when we started this new routine, I had the conversation with all the kids, letting them know, giving them this new mindset of, how they were showing us gratitude and showing the Lord they were grateful for everything they had by helping out. My husband was at the table, so he just jumped right on board and was able to reinforce that. And then he showed all four of them standing there watching, gave them an entire tutorial about how the dishwasher works, how they're supposed to load it. And funny enough, I was like, I should just stand here and listen to this too. Wow, look at that. I am now a sufficient dishwasher loader. I feel very confident in my dishwasher loading skills. After 15 years of marriage, I've got it. So anyways, then a couple days later, after we started the new routine, we were having Sunday one-on-one meetings. We do that occasionally with the kids. It's just a really great way to check in, to encourage them. It's amazing. So we were doing one-on-one meetings, and in each kid's one-on-one meeting, we talked about how awesome it's felt around the house since they've started doing the dishes, and we threw in different things like, hey, when you guys help mommy out like that, then I'm able to have more energy to do things like make a dessert or read, do reading time after dinner, or, told them other fun things and just sort of explained to them how they're giving me energy back by helping out with that. And then I have more energy for, more fun and exciting things to be added to our lives. So that's not a new concept to them. They get that. When they have bad behavior, they hear about how that drains my energy. And so they will have to do quiet times or chores to help me gain that energy back, because it's exhausting to have kids that are arguing or fighting or being disobedient. And I'm not the Energizer Bunny. I don't have a unlimited amount of energy. So anyways, passing that along for you. If you have any tips on dishes, things that you help with your kids, we did dessert one night, and it was a dessert that was served after the entire kitchen was cleaned up. So that was a nice motivation, but nobody is doing it. I haven't put in place like a reward system. They're doing it because they're showing that they love their parents and they're grateful for everything that we do for them. So if you have any ideas, any tips, anything to say or add, you guys bring me so much encouragement. You honestly, your comments bless me so much. I learn a lot from you guys, and I appreciate it a bunch. So if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have anything to let me know, I would love to hear from you guys. I hope you're having a wonderful week. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Until next time.